Hello, my name is Vladimir Kabat. I'm architect. I'm chartered architect in Slovakia and in Ireland as well. In my presentation, I would like to introduce new tools that come from BIM and the new on-site recording technologies. I would like to show how to bring reality closer to the virtual world, showing the tools like 3D spheric scanners and transferring the shape through the point cloud to the real models will demonstrate the top of the building knowledge. The presentation calls BIM shape the building in and out. I have four main topics from the history. I have the Brunelleschi Dome story. As a second point, a second topic is a facade 3D scan connection exterior and interior. Third is a use of facades transfers into the REVIT recap and the Navisworks. And finally, I would like to show as a built facade model. Learning from the past, human houses have changed a lot. We are in the modern era, occupying many parameters. Efficient house mostly is made from the available lightweight materials. In my presentation, I would like to start showing the heavy stone structure, monumental cathedral of Santa Maria del Fiore, known as the Brunelleschi Dome, completed by 1436, before New World America was discovered. I see a challenge from learning 3D laser scanners. BBC One document presenting Italy's invisible cities in Florence, uncovering the secrets of Brunelleschi Dome. Pilot 3D Scan Dome project uncovering art of Renaissance. This is art of Renaissance architecture in connection with very precise calculations pointing to the geometry. The beauty of the art points to the nature models, and even if they wouldn't know the atomic principles, they discover the best frame structures without the highest resolution of microscope view. The cathedral site works began at 1296 after design architect Arnolfo di Cambio. After the architect died, nobody knows how to complete the dome. Works stopped for 30 years without a roof above the dome. As the story says, Brunelleschi, after many discussions, challenged the commission. If the commission wanted to see the project in detail, they had to let an egg stand upright on a marble table. All the members of the commission tried, but nobody could achieve the task. Discouraged by the failure, they told Brunelleschi it was impossible, just like building the dome without the scaffoldings. But the architect promptly showed them the solution. He took the egg and hit it hard enough the table. The bottom of the egg broke, and the Brunelleschi and the egg. The impossible happened. The egg stood upright. The commission members protested, saying that it was easy to do. Brunelleschi answered that it would be easy to raise the dome as well. Of course, he was knowing his details of his project. The commission surrounded the superior intelligence of Brunelleschi, awarding him the job. Doesn't Brunelleschi's dome look like an egg standing upright on the cathedral? Now you can handle the 3D spheric shape from the scan and overlay it above the egg shell. You can do it in the scale of your screen. Back to the BIM ideas. We are holding strong tools are to speed up the process of knowing the surrounding world. It is easier to evaluate a genius idea by making 3D sections like the sharpest knife through the melon. With a surgeon's precise 1 millimeter scan is possible to take to piece the whole building on your screen. As a core, the main knowledge, we are in a digital era, and it is a digital copy of the object, buildings, and interior equipment, instead for anyone who needs to capture a copy using spatial model. It is also serves as a perfect copy for creating digital model or creating another real object based on the original. It is possible to print with a 3D printer scaled models coming from a scan and redo the sculpture work job again. As we are part of the technical evolution era, we have to recognize the levels we are able to contribute. I recognizing 5 levels, and the 5th is the greatest possibility to do the system and create the institute. The designer basic level can start it as a simple user of the software, AC, downloading to your PCs and viewing with the possibility to contribute. They are just the viewers, but gives you the idea and is an introduction to the 3D world. The second level of design can be creating a digital model from scratch or as a build possibility from the scan. As a result of final product, can we sell the model from a range LOD 1 to 6? This is a business point, and it's easy to do. The third level is more tricky, more complicated. The third level is more about the systematic BIM collaboration between the software or migrated information to the specialists, e.g. making the groups of the objects for easy modification or material takeoffs. Knowing a good structural designer, he knows the whole building interacts instead of taking the status of small components. The fourth level is more about the simulation, like a heat transfer, energy flows, or sun contributions. I will give more dynamic views. The fifth possibility, it's a last level. We might know this is a system creation institute. You can imagine it is an umbrella of integration creating libraries online. For example, we are coordinating digital records of Earth overground and possibly underground through records. BIM is more about the transferring information. This gives the loop for catching all components and will give the algorithm in a programming language. As a result of the last level, will be faster progress where the livable idea wins the competition, and we can overcome the loop of stagnation showing down learned from the history. Easy can explain, like recording design steps to programming language, assembling the logical, and letting the computer brain finish the job. Just be surprised, like making the polar array in a 2D AutoCAD. The second part of the core presentation is pointing to the envelope and the roof. Knowing the core internal frame knows The externals can be simply changed as a clause. This is a huge contribution to the renovation businesses. We can describe two ways how to use the scanners. In the second part of the presentation, I would like to show the scan processes description. You might have two questions at the beginning. Which scanner did you use, and which software is needed for a 3D view? So I will answer very simply. I use the Trimble X7 and can alternate with Faro or Leica. Which software is needed for a 3D view shown in the video? So I can use a package including Recap, Revit, possibly AutoCAD 2224. There are a few advantages of the scanners. It's a comprehensive view from a 3D perspective. It's a point cloud accuracy, 1 millimeter, very accurate spatial map of the exterior, interior model of a layout of a mechanical devices, perfect shape capture of the space, vertical and horizontal space, and open 3D sections. Of course, we are in the process of developing new products, and you can use for developing new products as well. A 3D laser scan advantages. We are creating HD 360 spheric photos, and there are 6 millimeter in a 6 millimeter distance. So we can jump between the bubbles, as you see on the picture. 3D laser scanner advantages is a digitalization of building interior objects, 3D scan, and you can do the whole building. As you see on a laser scan presentation we put on the roof. We made the two scan areas on the roof as well. So basically we closed the building. So in this case we had a whole building in the model. You can see draft of the placement of machines. The customers they liked see the machines and the factory, because it's made in a very precise model, and you can do the virtual tour. I can show the timeline. The scan usually starts on site. You creating spheric photos and point cloud. The spheric photo usually takes from 2 to 10 minutes, and the point cloud in a sequence from 2 minutes to 14 minutes. You're taking million points from the site, creating perfect shape. In your office, you have to transfer point cloud into the recap. Later, using few bridges like REVIT links, you have to link to the families. You're creating new families, and later you have to complete your job in a 3D. As a final product, you have layout in a 2D. 3D generates sections, elevations in any point you would like to see. And on site, you have a checking point. You can check the survey point dimensions from your drawings. and you have to compare new on-site relocated assemblies against the scanned point clouds. So the process is almost complete. The best advantage is knowing the roof and knowing the facade. Is most important, the most visible part of the job. The facade, the roof, and all structures that are closing building. They are in the range from 20 to 30% of building cost. So basically, you own the whole building in your model. I created BIM facade strategy. My strategy leads to detail. I'm creating the assemblies and modifying in one steps 100 of elements and the components. I can demonstrate full facade model of external walls. Mostly the task is LOD 3 and 4. My models achieving 5 and 6 is almost done in all details. So we are coordinating REVIT files according to structural, mechanical, and architectural models. Later, creating elevations using existing floor plans and sections. Creating curtain wall project families is based on the fabrication. I personally use the Schuko families because they are very well developed. Using the brackets and the fixing points to the structure. So this is essential because you're showing the connection points and you can't do any model with connections to the next structure. You have to simplify your model, and you have to simplify your model under the 250 megabytes, because you can easily create 1,000 megabytes. 1,000 megabytes, they are not transferable. You can't connect with anything. You can do brisolates, on-site elevations, shadings, and special components. At the end of the job, adding the doors, windows, closing with the pressings and the PVC packers, and you can add insulation showing the whole job. Intelligent made a future in the year 3000, and guess where the BIM is. You can see interesting pictures. They are made like it's like a gaming world. You can see mostly Europe, like Czech Republic, Slovakia, Germany. You can see the Vatican City. You see the Greece, Athens, Italian. So this is the new world. We probably won't see the cities, they are changed. But you see the historical buildings, they are still there. So it means the stone remain. Stone is forever. As a conclusion, it is a digital era, and we are creating the digital objects. We are part of the technical evolution and have to recognize the levels we are able to contribute. As the summary of two cores presentation is pointing to the envelope and the roof. Knowledge of the core internal frame pointing to the externals and can be simply changed as a seasonal clothes is a huge contribution to the renovation businesses. Doing the internal and external scan to the PC generates real volume mass. We can recommend two ways how to use scanners and the BIM facades models for historical buildings or for a new as a built all type structures for the best record and possible improvements of the building virtual world in the future. Thank you for your attention. And if you have any further questions to discuss, please do not hesitate to let me know. Thank you very much again.